Hello friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here and I am so happy to have you here to celebrate my 30th birthday. So today is November 17th, 2025 and it is my 30th birthday, which feels like a really big milestone. So of course I wanted to reflect on all of the lessons throughout the past 30 years and today I'm going to be talking all about the 30 lessons that I have learned in 30 years. So before we get into that, I do want to share that a lot has changed leading up to this 30th birthday. I recently got engaged. I actually just moved to a new city where I don't know anybody. I arrived exactly 1 week ago today, right about this time actually. And there has just been a lot of moving parts. So while I did originally think my 30th birthday would be a big extravaganza, maybe going on a big trip, it doesn't quite look like that. Which has been at times a little bit hard to process, and it's a Monday, so my fiance, the one person I know around here, is at work and everybody's busy, which can be hard. But when I really think about it, this entire past year I have been celebrating this big milestone in my life. If you've been following along, you know me and one of my best friends have been doing 30 for 30, which is 30 new things leading up to our 30th birthday, so that's been going well. I just had an engagement party / going away party with 70 of our closest friends and family, which was one of the best nights ever, and I kind of treated that as my 30th birthday as well, since all of our friends and family were there. And there has just been so many celebratory moments along the way that today, even though I'm sitting at home, it's raining outside, I really am so content and so happy and so at peace. And I just am so truly excited for this next decade of life. It is hard to believe that I'm 30 years old. Sometimes I still feel like a confused 22-year-old trying to figure out this big adult world. But at the same time, I feel really ready for what this next decade has in store. I think it's gonna be a big change in a new phase of life. Something in my gut says that it's gonna be just the best one yet. So I'm so excited. But before we go into the big 30s, I want to reflect on the past 30 years. And maybe you're in your early 20s, maybe you're also in your 30s. I just thought I would share all of these lessons because I think that they are all something we all could hear, and that maybe if I needed to hear this for myself and reflect on these lessons, maybe it can help somebody else too. So without further ado, let's get into it. But if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe down below. I share all things travel, lifestyle. I just started a new bridal series and I'm just kind of having fun on YouTube and seeing where it goes. I really, truly love sharing this long form style of content and just giving people a little bit more insight into my personality and just my everyday life. So go subscribe, like this video, let me know in the comments what you thought, what lessons you're taking from it, or any lessons of your own. Or advice. If you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s, give it to me. Let me know in the comments what I need to know going into this next decade. All right, let's do it. I also will say, I'm gonna try to do this all without getting emotional because I am a Scorpio and I do always get emotional around my birthday. I don't know why, but it happens. So let's do this. Lesson number 1. Once you learn to truly love and accept yourself, everything else falls into place. I'm sharing this one first because it's the most important. Learning to love myself was the hardest, yet most rewarding process of my life. And I continue to work at it each and every day. Wow. So I will say, throughout the entire first half of my 20s and even starting in my late teens, I really struggled with self-criticism and even self-hate. Like I really talked so negatively to myself every single day. I struggled really badly with body image. I just couldn't seem to accept and love myself for who I am, what I look like, my accomplishments, what I did, and that led to a lot of spiraling moments, a lot of treating my body and myself with just terrible thoughts and activities. And I'm sharing this one first, like I said, because I truly have learned that loving yourself truly is the key to enhancing and bettering every other aspect of your life. Whether it's your career, your relationships, whatever it might be. It's cheesy, but like you truly have to start with yourself. And it is the most rewarding process to finally give yourself the care and love that you deserve. Lesson number 2, go to therapy. It'll change your life. All right, number 3, please treat your body with respect. It is the vessel for life, and it deserves to be handled with care. I spent years abusing my body with binge eating, binge drinking, and unreciprocal and unprotected relationships with men, to name a few. Learning to love my body for the blessing it is changed everything. Literally, our body is the only reason that we're here. Health in our body is everything. It's how we live and it's how we experience life. So treat it with care. On that note, number 4, your value is not determined by your weight or your shape. I love dressing up and looking my best, but I know that people don't love me for what I look like. They love me for my heart and who I am. And I think as young women, especially in your late tweens and early 20s, that's a time where we really start to notice our bodies. We start to criticize our bodies. The world has so much to say about beauty standards and what women should look like, what size they should be, how much makeup or how they do their hair. Everything is so picked apart for women in society. And I think coming now to 30 years old, I just love who I am. And I love to dress up clearly. I obviously had to put my pink B-Day dress on. It's not my birthday if I'm not wearing a pink dress. That's just tradition. But I've learned that my value does not come from the size of my body or what I look like. Makeup and hair and dressing up are just fun additions. And it's important to do those things for you, not for other people. Number 5, your parents are just people doing their best. When you learn to forgive them for the tough times, you can love and get to know them as the people they are, not just the parents they were. They love you more than anyone else in the world. I feel like no matter where you come from, no matter how you grew up, no matter what your relationship is, we all have been through hard times growing up. And I think that sometimes we can blame our parents or question them or wonder why things maybe weren't different. And when you're young, you are their whole world and your thought is just, my parents are here to take care of me. But the reality is, and something that I think most people learn as they get older, is that our parents are just people, and it's also their first time being parents too. So they're just doing their best. And I think the older I've gotten, the more fun I've had hanging out with my parents, just getting to know them and asking them more questions about their backgrounds and history before I was here. And yeah, it just really opens the door to create this new relationship. Just give your parents some grace. Number 6, stop giving your attention to men who do not deserve it. Enough said. Your person will never make you question where you stand with them. And of course, if you guys have been keeping up, you know that I'm engaged. I found the love of my life. And I feel like for so long, I was seeking validation from f***ing gross men, if I'm just being honest, who treated me poorly, who didn't value me. What was I doing, girl? Come on. But that's just a part of girlhood. You just gotta grow through that phase and learn it for yourself. So anyway, if you're in your early 20s, this is your sign. Stop. Someone's gonna treat you right. Okay, number 7. This is important. Just because someone shows love differently from you doesn't mean they don't love you. I love loudly with words of affirmation and constant affection. I'm a feely, touchy girl. But I learned in recent years, especially in my relationship with my fiance, that love can be soft. It can be small. It can be a morning cup of coffee in bed, cooking a meal, letting me pick the movie, whatever it might be. Love shows up so differently in all of us just because we don't show it the same. We all have our own love languages. It's important to notice the way that the people in your life do show you that love. Whether it's a partner, a friend, a family member. Notice the way that people do show that affection and love for you. I think sometimes we can be like, well, they didn't do this, that means they don't care. Really, it's just they're expressing their affection in a different way. Number 8. This is kind of a sad lesson, and it's one that I'm still learning. But number 8 is that people change, and sometimes the ones you thought would be in your life forever will leave, and that is okay. It hurts, it's hard, but leaning into the people who choose to stay is what matters most. People are gonna disappoint you in life, people are gonna not show up the way you want them to, and people will walk away, and that fucking sucks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It really is sad, it sucks, and it hurts. But you have to trust and believe, and I'm talking to myself right now too, that people walking away or leaving is just making space for the right people, opportunities, and blessings to come into your life. Because if that energy is stagnant or stuck and it's just not working, letting go of that, accepting it, and making peace with it, it's gonna open so much space for the universe to give you even more than what you could have ever imagined. Okay, number 9. Make space to be creative just for the sake of being creative. Not everything needs to be shared online or monetized. I think in this day and age, it's so hard because we feel like, okay, well, this new hobby, I should probably turn it into a side hustle, and I need to post about it on Instagram and gain a following or whatever it might be. What I am really trying, I'm still learning this, but I think it's important to like be creative just for fun. At the beginning of this year, I started acting classes, and I didn't go into it for once in my life with the expectation of trying to get something out of it. I really was just craving like a creative community, a space to try something new, step out of my comfort zone. And it's actually turned into a really big passion of mine, and it's now something I'm pursuing. And that wasn't the result of going into it trying to gain something from it, whether it's money, recognition, following. I went into it with the intention of joy and fun and just being creative. And sometimes that's like doing a horrible painting for fun on a Friday night at home that will never be hung anywhere on my walls, but it was just fun to like let the paint go, you know, try something different. Or maybe it's writing poetry with a candle by your side and just relaxing. Maybe it's trying to play an instrument or listen to music or editing videos for social media, whatever it is. Like if it's something new and something creative that you want to try, just do it, but just do it for fun. Number 10, use your voice and stand up for what you believe in. It matters now more than ever. I mean, I hope and believe that everybody around me knows where I stand within the current state of the world. And I just think now more than ever, it is important to raise your voice, stand up for what's right, march for the people and things that you care about, have those hard conversations with people who maybe disagree with you, get curious, get educated, and stand up for what you believe in. And that's not just even in like politics or like world news or world conflict. That's also just in your everyday life. Anywho, oh, I like this one. Number 11, your wildest dreams will come true if you are courageous enough to go for them. Keep believing in yourself, even when it feels hard or illogical. Manifestation is powerful if you lean in. Even in those times that I mentioned where I was like really hating on myself and degrading myself on a daily, hourly, every minute basis at times, there was a small part of me that still believed in myself. Through my career, through my relationships, through sharing my life on social media, and discovering new passions, believing in yourself is like essential. Even if you have the skills, the tools, the resources, the network, believing in yourself is the foundation of everything that you could want in life. So just go for it, okay? Just go for it. You never know what might happen. And I believe in you. Number 12, being emotional is not a bad thing. In fact, it's the most powerful thing about you. Your capacity to feel deeply, whether it's positive or negative, means that you are experiencing the full spectrum of the human experience. So, like I said, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a water sign. I am a deep thinker. I'm emotional. I cry more than anybody I know. And I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm stressed out. It's just how I express my emotions. I'm just a highly sensitive person. I feel things so deeply, and that has definitely presented a lot of challenges in my life. But the older I've gotten, the more I have grown to appreciate the fact that I feel things so much because I care so much. And I'm so passionate about living and just feeling everything that we possibly can in this life. Being emotional and feeling things is a good thing. So if you're a crybaby like me, maybe you needed to hear that. Number 13, always choose empathy. Always. Number 14, failing just means you were brave enough to try in the first place. Be proud of every failure because it is just one step and one valuable lesson closer to success. One of my favorite quotes is actually from Karamo on Queer Eye, and he said that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of it. And it's a fact that people who fail more are actually more successful because you're willing to put yourself out there and fail and try and try and try again until something clicks. So don't be afraid to fail, put yourself out there, and like I said before, just go for it. Number 15, life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun. Which I have to give myself this constant reminder all the time because I get stressed, I get anxiety, I get all the things. But life is supposed to be fun. Like, we're here to enjoy it. So do the things that feel good and that bring you joy and just try to have fun along the way. Number 16, follow your passion for life and adventure. Traveling will lead you to experiences, people, conversations, and cultures around the world that help shape and expand your perspective. So of course, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a travel and lifestyle journalist and content creator, and I've basically been traveling nonstop around the world for the past 4 years now. And while I am kind of settling into this new phase of life where I do want to be home more, I want to enjoy being engaged and like maybe get a dog and just really make this new city our home and create this like sanctuary of a space that I want to be spending most of my time in. I have gained so much from traveling and seeing the world and taking risks and trying new things like like ziplining in the jungle, or going on a cruise to the Arctic, or spending a month in Europe alone. Doing all of those things has truly expanded my worldview. It has taught me lessons about myself. It has taught me how to have fun with myself. It truly has brought so much joy, memories, lessons into my life. And so if you haven't already traveled, whether you're young or maybe you're later on in life, go travel. There is only so much to gain from it. Number 17, never take the women in your life for granted. They will inspire you, hold you, nurture your growth, and teach you the true value and strength of female relationships. I truly get emotional every time I think about the women in my life. I have incredible women surrounding me at all times. My mom, my friends, the other women in my family, my future mother-in-law, all the women in my life have just continued to impress me and inspire me and challenge me and be there for me when I need them. So for all my girls, lean into those friendships and those relationships with the other women in your life, because I really don't think I would be where I am now without them. I just love my girls so much. 18, spend less time on your phone and more time outside. Nature is where you feel most connected and at peace. I constantly fall victim to the doom scroll, to constantly refreshing to see how many likes or comments I got, constantly seeing who's viewing my story, what's going on in the world online. It just is not good for us to constantly be seeing what everyone else in the world is up to constantly be comparing ourselves, to constantly finding our value in the number of double taps somebody gives to your photo. There's so much more out in the world than in this little screen, which is obviously easier said than done. But even in the just past couple months, I feel like I have spent so much less time in my phone, not even intentionally, but because of the move, engagement. I went on a writing retreat in Brazil where I was like totally off my phone for a week. With the move and everything, like there's just so much change happening, that there's so much going on in my world right now in real life, that this feels like I can't even give my energy to it. Like I feel so averse to it right now. And while I'm kind of like getting back into it, and I love sharing my life online, that's why I'm making this video. Like I truly love it and have so much fun doing it. I do think it's important to have certain like digital cleansing times, be mindful of the hours that you're spending on your phone, and just when you feel stressed out or anxious, don't dissociate on Instagram. Go take a walk outside. Again, I'm still learning this one, okay? Number 19, the small wins deserve to be celebrated just as much as the big ones. Please slow down long enough to notice how far you've come, even when you feel stuck or stagnant. The younger you would be so proud. I feel like I have such big goals and dreams that a lot of the time I can feel like, oh, I'm not there yet. I have to keep going. I have to keep working to get the things that I want. I have to go, and work, and produce, and post, and all the things. And it just feels like I'm constantly like running and rushing toward whatever this end goal even is. And sometimes I can forget to just like take a breath and realize where I actually am right now. And that the version of me just a few years ago wanted exactly what I have in this moment. And she worked hard for it. So celebrate it, be grateful for it, take it in, and then move forward. Like, is this a TED Talk, you guys? Number 20, read. Read self-help, romance, fantasy, thrillers, biographies, personal essays, and educational text. Just read. There is so much knowledge around the world, and there's so much that people have to offer that are experts in their field, or maybe they just are creative geniuses and can create the most magical stories in their brains, and they're being gracious enough to share it with the world. So take advantage of those resources. Read. And it just like, again, helps you get away from the screen. I love movies, I love TV. I'm trying to be an actress, but turning your screens off, putting your notifications on Do Not Disturb, and just like getting into a book is the best feeling. 21, also write. Document your everyday life. There are important reflections and lessons within the pages of your journals. Writing will also become your job, but please don't forget to write for you. That's where the real magic happens. And so maybe this is not as relevant to everybody, but for my fellow writers or creatives, if you've made a career out of your creative passions, it can oftentimes take some of the joy out of it, because we're not always creating or doing the things that we would if we didn't have to make money. And so whether it's writing or painting or dancing or even in just your everyday career, take the time to do the thing you love outside of work. And in terms of writing and journaling, I have found journals from when I was like 6 years old, and it's something that I just have always done. I think I come from a family of writers, so I'm sure it was passed down to me. I really started journaling every single day in 2020 when I did the book / course, The Artist Way. Basically, I've been journaling 3 pages a day for the past 5 years. Obviously, there are phases where I maybe like skip for a while or maybe just write 1 page, but I've been documenting my everyday life for 5 years now. And my journals are truly my prized possessions. And journaling has changed my life. It's how I get my thoughts out. It's how I process the things that I need to. If you don't have a journaling practice, I would say dip your toes in. Like, try different journaling methods, whether it's free writing like I do every single morning, or maybe you're just writing down 5 things you're grateful for at the end of the day just to get started. You get to really watch your life unfold when you document it in that way, which is really cool. It's also the place where you're the most honest because no one's ever going to read my journals. Like, that belongs to me. No one's going to see what's in those pages. And so you can really just like process and let it out. And that is really therapeutic. 22. Oh man, I think this is something we all need to hear, but your need to be productive every second of the day will burn you out over and over again. Sometimes productivity looks like lying on your bedroom floor and staring at the ceiling. Learning to rest will make all the difference. I have burned myself out significantly every single year for the past like 5 years in a row. And I think a big part of that has been the traveling because I've pursued the goal of becoming a travel writer and I did it and I'm so grateful and every experience has been amazing, but I've just been go constantly until I reach a point of like, I feel like I can't even breathe. I can't even wake up without like dread. Like, I just feel exhausted. That need to just be on the go, be productive all the time can really burn us out. So if you're like that too, just know that you deserve to rest and that resting is actually gonna probably make you more productive in the long run. I actually remember I took a day off one time because I just like woke up and I was unwell and I had been traveling several months at a time. And I laid in bed and I watched Netflix all day and I literally stayed like horizontal all day. And the next day I woke up and I was like, I feel good. And I was productive. I got a lot done. In that moment, I was like, I get it. Like, rest really is important. 23. It's okay to still be figuring things out. Maybe you never really will figure it out. But isn't that what makes life interesting? Think about that. 24. Learn to see where you come from as a blessing. How you grew up is what gives you such a deep appreciation for what you have now, compassion for other people, and the ability to tap into the joy of creativity. So again, this is more of a personal one, but I think it can apply to everyone in the sense that where we come from doesn't define us, but it does help shape who we are. So for me, I don't come from a lot. My family really struggled financially. There was some years of chaos and it was really hard. But I do think that the way I grew up has truly made me like a compassionate person. It's made me resilient. It's made me dedicated to making the life that I want. Appreciate where you come from, even if it was hard. Number 25, family is everything. Call your parents and your siblings even when life gets busy. Make sure they know that they are always on your heart and your mind. Oh man, I feel like I struggle a lot of the time with guilt because I do get really caught up in my own world, especially when I'm traveling and like I just have so much going on and life gets so busy that I'm like thinking constantly about my family, but maybe I don't call them for a while or text them to check in. And again, the older and older I get, part of the reason I want to settle down and not always be on the go is so that I can spend more time with my family. It is extra important to make sure that we're staying connected. Call your mom, text your brother or your sister or your dad, tell them you love them. Ooh, this is a fun one too. Number 26, say yes! Capital Y-E-S exclamation point. When life presents new opportunities that might feel out of your comfort zone, run toward them. It will give you some of the most fun and rewarding experiences, or it will teach you more about what you want or don't want. I'm a big yes girl. And of course, it's important to know when to say no. And that's definitely something I'm still working on because I could definitely spread myself too thin, hence the burnout. But in general, I feel like I've spent so much of my 20s just like saying yes, especially the second half of my 20s, saying yes to life and to the people and opportunities and experiences that might come your way. It's gonna lead you in a direction that will hopefully provide clarity, more direction toward what you really want, and also just some downright fun experiences. Like, I went on a game show this year because I said yes to this random funny experience. I have gone to travel the world, like I said. A lot of just fun, different things have come from saying yes to everything that comes my way. Everything, I should say, that's aligned that comes my way. Because again, it's important to vet. Is this an opportunity that I do want to say yes to? And if it's not a heck yes, then maybe it's a no. But is it truly not aligned, or are you just afraid to step out of your comfort zone? So it's important to make that distinction. And sometimes I've been wrong along the way. Well, no, I really don't have regrets. Again, everything's a learning lesson. 27, girl, it's time to regulate your nervous system. Living in fight or flight isn't working for you anymore. or the people around you. This is a lesson I am still in the process of leaning into. So if you do have resources for navigating and regulating your nervous system, let me know in the comments. I'm actually currently looking into some different courses and coaching for nervous system and somatic work. My anxiety and my like fight or flight is something much deeper like in my body that I really need to work through, and that I haven't quite learned how to do that. And so that's what I'm working on right now. But like, girl, it's time to get your nervous system in check, okay? Come on, we're 30 now. Get it together. Okay, number 28. Always be over-prepared. Take pride in the preparation you put into the things you care about. It shows and the right people will notice. I don't know if this is just like a perfectionist thing, but I feel like there's times where I like do way too much and I over-prepare. And maybe like I don't need any of it, whatever it might be, like an audition or an interview or like needing to know something for work. Maybe I go a little overboard in the prep, but I really feel like that's how you can show up the most confident and the most ready to impress or like to get what you want. So if you're showing up to something that you care about, or maybe it's just for work, come over prepared. Again, the right people will notice and you will just feel more confident and ready to tackle whatever it is. 29, gratitude is a gift. Practice it daily. Whew, man, I feel like I am brought to tears more often than not when I think about the things that I have in my life and how grateful I am for this life. And things can be hard, things can be messy, things can be quite literally the opposite of what we want in a certain situation. And it can be really hard to feel gratitude in those moments. But we always have something to be grateful for. If we are alive and we're breathing, whew, say a thank you to the universe. 30, last and not least, I love you. No matter what, I love you. And that's just another quick self-love reminder, because again, it is the most important. And I think we can criticize ourselves, we can be hard on ourselves, we could be having thoughts, for instance, what I have been dealing with lately is that you're 30, you should have this by now, you should have done this by now, you should be here by now, you shouldn't be struggling in this way anymore. It's hard not to have those thoughts, especially, I guess, if you compare yourself to other people in your orbit or just like the societal standards, whatever it is. Love yourself through all of it. And again, I'm talking to myself with these lessons too. These are all things that I have learned, but I'm constantly still practicing and learning. I just hope for more blessings, more lessons, more growth in this next decade. And I truly feel and believe that it's going to bring some of the best moments and opportunities and experiences and people and things into my life. And I'm so excited and grateful that you're here to be part of the journey. I hope this was insightful or maybe just thought-provoking for you. Again, make sure to subscribe if you like this video. Check out the other videos on my channel, and you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else at bychloecaldwell. So come say hi, be friends. I actually did also just start a Substack called The Wandering. Of course, as a travel gal, I had to do something a little bit adventurous and symbolic, but I'm not just talking about travel, it's all about navigating my 30s and sharing all of these types of reflections. So my newest Substack is actually 30 Lessons for 30 Years, where I basically share what I shared in this video, but make sure to check it out. It comes to your inbox every Thursday, and I'm really excited about this because, again, like I said in my lessons here, this is something that I'm writing for me and hopefully a community of people who resonate. So I love you guys. Thank you. Go put on your pink for me today. Eat something sprinkly, something sweet, and I love you. See you guys next time. Mwah!